I know, I said I was taking a break. But today is December 31st, 2021, which means the year is finally over. Thank the Maker. 2021 was an extremely difficult year for every single one of us. Not a single person was enjoying it in the slightest. Well, I think the only people that really enjoyed it were the people who like sitting in their homes all day, every day. But with the virus slowly fading out of existence, sort of, and with 2022 just on the horizon with very promising films, I figured now would be a great time to give you the top 10 best movies of 2021. Now, full disclosure, I haven't seen all the great movies of 2021, such as Licorice Pizza or Encanto. I haven't seen any of those yet. So, those are not going to be on the list, but I'm sure they're great because I've heard a lot of good things about them. I'm going to talk about the movies I saw this year that really left an impact on me. And I'm thinking long and hard about this, and it's a very difficult task to put a list like this together. But in the end, this is just my opinion. And my voice is very nasally. Before anybody asks, yes, I got it. I'm unlucky I got the damn virus. But I'm coping with it well, so wish me a fast recovery. So with that said, let's get the list started. At number 10, we have Black Widow. The reason why I put Black Widow at number 10 on the list, well, it's because I thoroughly enjoyed it, and it was a movie I had been waiting 2 years to see. Announced back in 2019, with the trailer coming out around that late year, I was expecting a movie to come out that was great. And unfortunately, the movie got delayed due to, well, we all know what happened. Thankfully, that July of 2021, we got Black Widow, finally. And it didn't really disappoint me. A lot of people really thought Black Widow disappointed them. I understand exactly why. But I personally just think that the story was very well written. The characters were great in every way, shape, or form. Specifically, Florence Pugh as Yelena Belova and David Harbour as Red Guardian. The action scenes remind me of moving comic books similar to animated shows based on comic books we got in the late 90s, early 2000s, and early 2010s. And overall, I felt very much like I was in the MCU again. That's the reason why Black Widow makes it on the list. At number 9, we have Mortal Kombat Legends: Battle of the Realms. This year, I became somewhat of a Mortal Kombat fan, and I watched both of the animated movies that came out. The first one came out last year, which was Mortal Kombat Legends: Scorpion's Revenge, and the other one was Mortal Kombat Legends: Battle of the Realms, which came out back in August. Battle of the Realms and Scorpion's Revenge have one thing in common. They're very similar to the 1990s movies that came out around the time back when video game movies were just starting out, but they're better in execution. The writing is good, the characters are all memorable, and overall, it gives you the feel of Mortal Kombat. The best parts of the movie are whenever Scorpion and Sub-Zero are going on their arc of their own, which is why they need to make a movie based around Scorpion and Sub-Zero in live action. Maybe the sequel to the 2021 movie, which I will get to in a minute. If you haven't seen both animated films, check them out. They're a great watch. You're going to enjoy every second of them. If you're a Mortal Kombat fan like me, And if you don't enjoy it, then whatever. That's your opinion. Number 8 is Venom. Let There Be Carnage. Venom Let There Be Carnage is an interesting movie. I wasn't really crazy about the first Venom, but I enjoyed it nonetheless. But that doesn't mean the first movie had its fair share of problems. An obvious problem in the first Venom movie is the fact that Venom looks great in some shots, but looks downright fake in others. He's great when he's the full-bodied monster, but he looks fake when he's attached to Eddie Brock kind of talking to him. And it's sad that Riot looks better than him. The 2021 sequel rectifies the problems and makes Venom look great in every single shot, and does a cool representation of Carnage that I would be fine with for a one movie. Though yes, Carnage seems like a villain who would be drawn out to extra movies, I don't really have a problem with him getting killed off, which I'm sure a lot of people do. The reason why I don't have a problem with him getting killed off is because this version of Venom is clearly going to fight other symbiotes and other villains throughout the course of his time. With Venom 3 coming out sometime down the road, we can expect him to fight Toxin. The performances from Tom Hardy and especially Woody Harrelson are absolutely great, and I fully was interested while watching them. If you haven't seen it already, please give a chance to check it out. It's that good, and I hope you guys will enjoy it. Number 7 is Mortal Kombat. Like I said earlier, I'm a fan of the Mortal Kombat games. I became one this year. And Mortal Kombat 2021 is basically a love letter to the games. With characters you're going to recognize, as well as great action, you're going to be very surprised with how great this movie is. With great choreography, especially from actors like Hideyuki Sanada and Joe Taslim, as well as amazing, and I do mean amazing, CGI, you're going to expect a big popcorn flick to be a movie on one of your guys' watch lists. I am aware that a lot of people disregard this one, but I just think it's a fun action movie that's worth your time. I've watched it 3 times so far, and I plan to watch it again sometime next year. Number 6, Godzilla vs. Kong. I'm a fan of monsters, but specifically King Kong is the best of all movie monsters out there. In 2014, when it was announced that a whole monster universe was going to be invented, everybody went ecstatic. Leading up to Godzilla vs. Kong, I watched all 3 MonsterVerse movies leading up. It all comes down to the setup of all 3 of them, specifically from the first 2. Don't worry about King of the Monsters, that movie's crap. And, of course, the fact that we had been waiting to see King Kong and Godzilla battle again after 59 years. May I remind you that King Kong vs. Godzilla, the Japanese production, came out in 1962, and fans had been waiting for a monster rematch more than they were waiting to see Captain America fight Iron Man in the 2016 movie Captain America Civil War. Well, that's actually kind of doubtable. And they were also expecting more to come from this movie rather than, Batman vs. Superman, because who likes that movie? Some people do, actually. The CGI for both Godzilla, Kong, and of course Mechagodzilla is epic. The characters are written well, and it's a cheesy B movie that everybody is going to get a kick out of every once in a while. It's the best of the MonsterVerse movies by far, and I can't wait for more of these movies, including a Godzilla and Kong team-up against other monsters, maybe even the return of Ghidorah. We make it into the top 5. Now, bear with me, there are going to be some controversial choices here. So, just please hang on. Number 5, we have Dune. Dune is an epic, and I'm glad that Dune is a movie that exists, because if it didn't, then I would have had not that great of a time at the movies. I hadn't read the book or seen the original movie, but what I understand is that it is supposed to be an epic, so it fits into the criteria. And I wasn't disappointed with a single second of the new movie, which came out in October. With a great cast including Timothy Chalamet, Oscar Isaac, Jason Momoa, Josh Brolin, Javier Bardem, Zendaya, Rebecca Ferguson, Dave Bautista, and Stellan Skarsgård, you're not gonna lose a second of joy while watching Dune. Though the movie is 2.5 hours long, it goes at a steady pace and perfectly sets up the sequel, which I cannot wait to see in 2023. If you haven't seen Dune yet, go check it out on HBO Max. It's great, and you're going to enjoy it. Number 4, The Suicide Squad. In 2016, we got the very first Suicide Squad movie. It was very much hated by critics. But the new one came out in 2021, which was directed by the same guy who did Guardians of the Galaxy, is kind of a sequel to the 2016 movie, but I see it as what the 2016 movie should have been. It wasn't trying to have a big epic story. It was just like, screw it, let's just make a fun movie with a bunch of characters that nobody will know until they watch this movie. With character actors such as Idris Elba and Margot Robbie coming in, but also non-character actors like John Cena giving great performances. You can't deny the fact that this is one of the best comic book movies to come out in the last decade. If James Gunn is attached to any future sequels that involve the Suicide Squad, sign me up for every last one of them. Number 3, No Time to Die. No Time to Die is Daniel Craig's final James Bond movie, and I don't want to give it away too much here, but I'm going to just say it right now. It is epic in every way, shape, and form. Daniel Craig and Rami Malek give amazing performances as James Bond and Lucifer Safin. And of course, characters like Madeline Swan, every supporting character, just makes this James Bond movie the epic it deserves to be. You're on the edge of your seat for every single moment of this entire film. You don't forget a single second of it. And of course, the final climactic battle, which ends in a spoilers epic twist, you're not going to want to miss No Time to Die. It's an epic movie that I recommend for every last one of you. Now, these next 2 picks are comic book movies. So I just want to warn you, if you don't like comic book movies at all, then you might as well just leave right now. Number 2, Zack Snyder's Justice League. Zack Snyder's Justice League was a movie that everybody wanted to see back in the year 2017 before we got Justice League, which was a Warner Brothers and Joss Whedon edit of Zack Snyder's work, which everybody, myself included, finds to be extremely disrespectful and stupid. But early 2021, fans got their wish, and we got to see the definitive version of Justice League on HBO Max. With stunning performances from Ben Affleck, Henry Cavill, Gal Gadot, Jason Momoa, Ezra Miller, and Ray Fisher, as well as Ciarán Hinds, sorry if I mispronounce your name, Zack Snyder's Justice League is the best DC movie since The Dark Knight Rises, and is also the best DC movie of the year, and one of the best comic book movies I've ever seen in my life. Well, not close to films like, of course, Batman 1989, or several Marvel Cinematic Universe properties, Zack Snyder's Justice League is still a great film, and I recommend to anybody who's a fan of superheroes to check it out for themselves. Even though it's 4 hours, the watch time goes by pretty quickly, and you're not going to regret a single moment of your life after watching it. Before we get to the number one pick, I want to give a few honorable mentions. F9 The Fast Saga. F9 The Fast Saga was the first movie I saw in theaters after the pandemic that made me feel great. Cruella was the first movie I saw after the pandemic, if you guys wanted to know. And I had to watch every single Fast and Furious movie. Yes, 1 through 8 and Hobbs and Shaw. And I realized that Fast and Furious quickly became one of my favorite action franchises of all time. While stupid in concept in some moments, F9 The Fast Saga gives an emotional, epic, and very fun romp through the racing world. And I'm glad to see that Justin Lin and several other components of Fast and Furious properties are returning for one last hurrah with next year's, 2023, Fast 10, and of course, the final film, Fast 11. So, needless to say, I'm looking forward to the next few years of Fast and Furious, and I hope you guys, who are fellow members of the Toretto family, are going to enjoy it as well. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. This is a movie that everybody praised left and right, and I am definitely one of them. Now, I was originally going to put this instead of Black Widow, but the more I thought about it, the more I remembered that Black Widow was the character I wanted to see the most in her own future solo movie. Now, keep in mind my opinion can change, and Black Widow might be swapped out for Shang-Chi. But what Shang-Chi delivered was something great. It delivered the first great Asian lead superhero, and the second best race-led superhero after Black Panther, played by the late great Chadwick Boseman, obviously. With stunning CGI and, of course, funny jokes and a great performance from Tony Leung and Simu Liu, you're going to want to check out this movie on Disney Plus and streaming services where available. Free Guy. I never really had a bunch of, excitement for Free Guy, but when I finally checked it out, all of the, negative thoughts went away because this was definitely the most surprising movie of 2021. Free Guy is a heartfelt and emotional story about an NPC video game character who learns to become, self-conscious. It is a great heartfelt message as well as very, very, very funny scenarios, including some references to famous blockbuster movie franchises you're going to recognize. Check it out on Disney Plus when available, or watch it on iTunes. And now the moment you've all been waiting for. The number one best movie of 2021 is Spider-Man No Way Home. What can I say about Spider-Man No Way Home that no one else has said already? It's definitely one of the most powerful MCU movies in recent years. With great performances from Tom Holland as Spider-Man, Alfred Molina as Dr. Octopus, and of course Willem Dafoe as the Green Goblin, you're definitely going to want to check out Spider-Man No Way Home in theaters while you have the chance. If you're a fan of Spider-Man, if you love the Raimi trilogy, and love Tom Holland's iteration as well as sort of Andrew Garfield's iteration, you're definitely going to want to see Spider-Man No Way Home. And I'm proud to admit that I'm glad I saw it on opening night, and I'm glad that it's making over $1 billion at the box office, becoming the most successful movie of the year. So, if you have the chance, swing into theaters and check out Spider-Man No Way Home. Whew, that did take a lot out of me. If you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a comment down below, and yes, I will be making a worst list probably tomorrow if I'm up to it. But until then, have a great Happy New Year, and I'll see all of you in 2022. Thank you so much for supporting me this year, and I hope you guys are doing great. Peace out. See you guys later.